Okay, hopefully this is going to cure the puto. Morning world, welcome to Saturday 23rd of December, and shh, it's not raining. So yesterday I went down to Mole Valley, you probably gathered all this already, and bought myself a new pair of Wellington boots. So Dunlop, whatever that says on there. Steel toe caps. I bought these boots because it was the only pair in the shop that had steel toe caps. They feel a bit light and flimsy, but at least I won't get puto, because my other pair of wellies, the seams had gone down the insides of the ear and on the toe, all down there. So every night I was going in the house, taking my boots off with a black big toe. All right, you lot is coming. Right then. Have I got another one out here? I don't remember seeing that there yesterday. So I caught our mole the other day just over there. That's where I caught it, him, her, whatever it was. And I thought that was it. I thought his territory was kind of from there, this area here, along and up the hedge at the top. And that's a reasonable territory for mole. I mean, you don't get, they're very, very territorial, like creatures. I think the average or the maximum you will get is like 5 moles to the acre. You won't get more than that because they'll fight. Apart from breeding season, sort of March-ish, when they don't fight as much. But yeah, maybe there's 2 territories. Maybe there was one in here. Thing is, unless they're out alone, you could sometimes you can see the line between territories. But because this guy was in the hedge, maybe the fence is the boundary. And there's another one out there. We'll find it if there is. We'll have to catch that one as well. So, anyway, not today. So this morning, lazy start this morning. Yes, I know. I had a few bits and bobs I needed to sort out in the house. That's done. It's now about 9 o'clock, and I'm coming out to do the animals. Now they're going to be unhappy because they're all hungry. All the feeders, no, not going for WLK. You stay there. All the feeders are empty, and I knew that would happen. And it was one of those things this morning, I was a bit twitchy about it because I was doing what I had to do in the house, knowing that this lot had no food, or very little. So yeah, we're going to address that now. We're going to feed them, clean them, get them all ready. Basically, tomorrow is family day. I want to get as much as I can done today, so I've got very little to do tomorrow. That's the plan. Right. I don't think anyone's escaped again. Number 200 is the little devil in there that kept escaping. So, well, we got some new ratchet straps, and that one was exactly the right length to go from there all the way down, round, twisty, 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 back up there and ratchet on. So hopefully that's going to cure the escapism. So I hope. So yeah, bales first. Go up, back it up. Go up. Go on. Go on. Go on. You know, I'm not scratching your arse. I know what you want. Go on. Reds out. Next. Although I suppose I could push that up a bit first. I'll push it up a little bit. I'll keep it in quiet for the rest of the day. So, another video of feeding and refreshing of beds. A lot of you say you don't care, you'll watch it anyway. I am mindful that it is the same every day. And it's not that I don't think of anything else to share with you, it's just that quite often the stuff that goes on right here, I don't have time. The days are too short. So, anyway, I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, when Marley came and picked up the New Holland skid steer, I mentioned to him that, because they're Manitou dealers as well, I mentioned to him that the Manitou 1650R is basically this machine, the Mustang. Not this model. I think the 1650R would be the equivalent of the 2050. This is the 2044. The 2050 Mustang was a fraction bigger than this. Same engine. I think a slightly higher flow on the pump. So a little bit more power, but yeah. So I basically said to him, if he comes across a Manitou 1650R that I can try, that I can play with, I would like to do that, because that would be a direct comparison with this, like 18, 19 years on. Also, the Gel R165 is from the same stable, so although some of the design features on the Gel and the Manitou are slightly different. I mean, the biggest difference I'm going to notice from the cab is the rear posts on both machines. That rear post with the rear pivot on are both higher, so I do lose a bit of visibility at the back, although I think they both come with reversing camera and reversing alarms. Sorry about that. So I'm hoping to get to try the Manitou 1650R and the Gel R165, made in the same factory. Okay, and from what I can see of it, you can still buy Mustangs in America. I don't think they bring them over here. So the larger Manitous, 1850s and stuff like that, you can get them in Mustang colours, in Mustang livery, which, I mean, if I could buy another Mustang, if there was another Mustang, I would be tempted, because I am pretty loyal to this brand. I mean, our first Mustang was bought purely by accident. It was a T-bar, really old machine. In fact, the big bucket that we had welded up came with that machine, and the bucket was 20 or 30 years old when I bought that machine. It was a second-hand thing for a recycling project that we tried years and years ago. Unfortunately, it failed. It cost me loads of money, but we kept the skid steer, and then we replaced that skid steer. That skid steer caught fire, and then we bought this one. And I have got to say, as far as this is concerned, this machine, I can't really fault it. There's a little bit of an issue at the moment with the fuel, and I think that's down to me not emptying out the fuel filters, not cleaning the fuel. I think that's all it is. And I just got to get around to changing the fuel filters in this, and I think we'll be back up on 100%. The only other thing that ever went wrong with this was that. The park brake. Somewhere in the system on here, the park brake ceased to work. And basically what we had to do, we had to almost bypass it. We had two engineers look at it, and neither of them could find it. So at the moment, the park brake itself is bypassed. I cannot put the park brake on with the engine running. If I want to stop it and not move it, I have to turn the engine off, then the park brake comes on. So I still got brakes when the engine's off, so I can still park with the brake on. I just can't do it with the engine running. So, which is the reason why I can put the park brake on and get out and still move the machine, because it doesn't actually properly really work. And without stripping this thing all apart to try and find out where that fault is, and it's an electrical fault, it's just not going to happen. So I've lived without the park brake on this for 10 years, and literally the only way I can operate the park brake is turn the key off. So I have it, I just learnt to live without it. We're pretty level here. It's not like we're on slopes and steep things or whatever else. So yeah. So hopefully we're going to try the Manitou. I don't know if New Holland can do anything with the Gel, but I'm going to be looking to see if there's a dealer anywhere near us that could maybe let me have a play with the Gel, because both those machines, like I say, are pretty much directly related to this. I will, if I get the opportunity, to try the JCB Teleskid. The dealer I spoke to earlier in the year was keen for me to try one, but they didn't have anything. It was something to do with engines, something to do with they didn't have the right engine or enough engines to go in there, and they didn't have enough machines, and there wasn't any demos about. So yeah, I will try that. And also we're going to try out hopefully the new Manitou mini handler. So it's a little tiny telehandler, again directly related to the Gel. So Manitou and Gel, basically they're all the same company. Manitou, Gel and Mustang. Manitou owns all of it. So you can buy this little telehandler. In fact, Marley didn't know this. You can buy it as a Gel in yellow, or you can buy it as a Manitou in red. Same machine. So, but apparently they've got one up there, and if it's available, we might be able to try that after Christmas. So after Christmas, we might actually have a little, and it is little. If you go back to our visit to Lama, was it last year or year before? I sat in one. I sat in the Gel version, I think. Yeah, it's it's probably not big enough. It's probably one of those things where if you only had that machine and nothing else on a little tiny farm, that would be fine. But because I intend to keep this, I already have a little machine. So I was literally on the online last night looking around at telehandlers. Am I better off keeping this, maybe spending a few quid on this and getting it sort of just tidied up a little bit after the winter, and maybe a telehandler for the farm. Basically, I want something that can go backwards and forwards between here and the other farm. And that might mean parting with Dad's old 695 tractor. It might. The only thing we use Dad's tractor for, in all honesty, is the log splitter. That's it. So, and while my tractor sat in the barn doing nothing, it's probably cheaper to run my tractor on economy than Dad's tractor, and it isn't doing it any good just sitting there all the time doing nothing. So yeah, I got to have a word with him about that, but it might be a case of next year maybe the 695 might be looking for another home. I already got 2 people who want it. One of them is actually a dealer for one of the big companies in here. He collects all the tractors and he's already told me he wants it. But you know, we'll see. But I think maybe that's the way forward for the farm here, is to keep the Mustang for all this stuff around here, but to have a slightly larger machine, telehandler, that I can drive backwards and forwards to the farm. I can do bale loading, I can do work over there. If we end up putting a cattle shed over there, I need something that I can, a machine both ends. Yeah. So there are plans afoot for the farm over there. Slight changes in direction. That's partially because growing wheat for my dad at the moment is really stressful. It's really stressing him out. And I said to him, do you know what? Why don't you just shake the government's hand? I don't know how they're going to afford it. Shake the government's hand and take the money to grow grass and wildflowers for the rest of your years. I'll just hang on to a bit of the ground for maybe grow a bit of wheat and barley for ourselves. Pick up a second-hand roller mill that I can put on the tractor, roll our own, produce our own feed, have nothing to do with Red Tractor. I don't want anything to do with those guys at all. So if we produce any cereals, it'll be for our own use. I can then produce our own straw, I can produce our own, a bit of meal for the cattle. I mean, these youngsters will probably enjoy a bit of meal. So yeah. So stuff is kind of altering around. As I gradually take on the other farm, I think we're going to adjust the processes and the practices to suit what we do, which is beef. So, because that'll bring up another question is, do I stick with Dexter's, or do I change to a larger breed, or do I do another breed? As in, as well as, not instead of. Right, anyhow, too much chatting. They're hungry next door, they want feeding, so let's sort this bale out. So first impression of these wellies, not as comfy as my Hunters, but I haven't got a wet toe, so that's a definite plus, that is. I was asked about this knife the other day. What is it about this knife? This was a dinner knife that belonged to my grandmother on my mother's side, Granny Worrell. It's really thin, it's not very hard, so it's dead easy to sharpen, and whether you know it or not, I sharpen it on concrete panels. That's razor sharp now. And yeah, I use it because I find the rounded tip far better for cutting that than a pointy tip, and keeps me connected with me granny. So I loved me granny. Oh, I forgot to knock that off there. Get off. Go on, get off. Get off. a whiff of that. Because of course I was feeding them silage at the farm, and at the moment we're back on hay to try and firm them up a bit because they were quite loose. I just wanted to slow their gut down a little bit when they came in. It's worked a bit, but they're still a bit loose. So may well be, I might take a sample down the vets, just get a egg cell count, just see if there's a bit of a worm burden, and if there is, then we'll get some pour on. I need to shut them in first. I can do this with the cows, not with this lot, because there's a couple of hooligans in here. Oh look, I can walk in this shit now and not get Pluto. That's the paper boy. Come on, get in. Get in. Actually, their bed don't look too bad. Although theirs was the one I did last. I don't know what you're whinging about because you still got a fair bit there. Go on. Good, get your head in. Go on. Go on. Go on, get in there. Get in. Go on. Go on. Good shot. So, their bed is good for today. But that means it probably wants doing tomorrow. Oh, it won't take long. And I might need an excuse to get away from the family for an hour. See him rolling? Now he stopped. That's the brake on. I mean, I should do that every time really, but you know, I don't. Remember I just sharpened my knife? There you go. Brilliant. Could really do with coming forward. I should have left the engine on and pulled him forward a bit because now I'm spilling it. Oh. Smells like silage. All right, mate, just bide your time. Oh, Patrick's got his head down against the gate here. You're keen, ain't you, mate? Come on then. We come out now. Okay, next job is clean bed for the girls and some fresh straw for the 19. Yeah, they're all right there. It might look dark and mucky, but that is wood chip, which is dark, but not mucky. So I want a bit of straw in for the boys and girls. I think what I might do, I don't want to open up another bale really. So what I might do is shut them down this end a minute. And then I reckon there's enough room up there if I get half a dozen slabs from that bale over there, I can go out through that gate actually, just come round and chuck it over and chuck it in from there, so that makes perfect sense. Mind your bum, mind your bum, mind your bum, mind your bum, arse, mind your arse. You've got to come out from behind there. That's it. Go round. That way. That's the way. Right, the cattle are on this side, so they're going to push the gate, so the bolt can come this side. When I go the other way around, I'll put the bolt on that side, so if they're pushing the gate, basically, all the chain does is stop these two coming apart. The bolt does all the work. So, we'll open you. We'll close you. See, if I get poorly, any one of you could come and do this for me because you know how it all works. See? Genius. And we'll open you temporarily to save me going all the way around with a bit of straw. Look at that. I can get that turbo it is. That doesn't need doing in there. Yeah, happy flipping days. Right, crack on. We'll shift this bit of straw first, just before the bucket gets a bit mucky. Oh, that fell apart. Nice dry bells though. It's going to be tight. But millimeters enough. Go on, get in there. Hat's come off. Too warm. I might have to bring some more in from the other end or open that gate. I might just do that. That might be easy to do that in the first place actually. Just open that gate. How many of you shouted that? Open the gate, idiot. Didn't hear you, sorry. I might have enough. It doesn't have to be a 10-inch thick bed. All it's here is keep them dry and clean. Nope. Not quite enough. We'll open the gate. Don't know why I didn't do this the first time. Just learning all the time. If the slabs were a bit more solid and not so prone to falling apart, which is a good thing, we like them falling apart because it makes it easy to spread. I carry it through there. This isn't just me being lazy, this is me trying not to drop too much between there and there. A good reason for not having a bigger tractor. Actually, while I got the bucket on, I might chuck a bit of chip over this side and the other side so they can stay shut out. There's no point going to the chip heap empty-handed. Some of that conifer. That's good enough to walk on. So I think next week we'll be starting to take muck out of there. We haven't taken anything out yet. Basically allowed a bit of a layer to build up. So then what we'll do is similar to this side with the cows, we'll just scrape the top off. Basically what I'm trying to do, as much as anything else, is to prevent digging up too much stone from the yard. So if I blade backwards and just take the loose wet stuff off the top and then dress like we do next door with the ball. So we're going to do that the same way. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to be chucking out less stones in the muck spreader next year. That is a bit tight. Case. I'm not really happy with it there. Right, we'll scatter this little bit about in here. They can come back this side. And then the bed bit of them will be completed. I'll kick that out there a bit, although I think maybe I'll keep it up near the wall, less traffic up there. I want them to lie on it, not walk on it. There you go. Right, close that one, open that one, done. Come on, Squirt. Move your back. Come on, move. There you go. That's it. Well done. bed for another one, isn't it? So it doesn't get so mucky up here. It's round the feeder and between the two sets of cattle where they stand and talk to each other. So, yeah, another question I had, do the calves recognise their mums when they come back? The honest answer is, I don't know. Do the mums care? No. No. After the initial greeting when they all came in and said, who are you, who are you, who are you, do I know you? You look familiar, but no, I'm going back to my bale, right. So, yeah, I want a bit in there, so I think when we finished everything up, we'll shut these guys in this side and we'll bring a bit more wood chip in there and just do that. But like I say, next week we're going to be scraping that off before we put fresh in. Makes the job more, but yeah, I don't mind the floor building up a little bit. It's nicer on there, the wood chip is nice on their feet, as long as they're not standing in wet all the time, then I'm quite happy. So, would you stop chucking that on the floor? One of those guys in there is a blue pipe chewer. It was almost bound to happen, so I keep coming in and finding the blue pipe pulled forward with a tug out. Well, sooner or later they're going to break that and this place will be full of water, so we're just going to mitigate that by tying it back. Got a handy little cleat there, so right, I'm almost out of battery. I'll show you what I've done when I've done it. All right, okay, we've made a slight adjustment to the ball cock as well because the tank was getting a bit full, but yeah, that's done. That can go back on there. Nearly there. Well, yeah, I'm really glad these bales, well, they were wrapped up dry, because if they weren't, this would be a bloody miserable job. Right, that should keep them happy right up until I'm kind of hoping this is going to last until 26th would be nice. Boxing Day might come in and just put a light scatter over the top just to refresh. I doubt I'll be doing, well, I'm going to be trying not to do too much Boxing Day. So there's enough there for one more session of bedding out, I reckon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll do all of this and some of that. But yeah, I tried a bit more over the fence here. I was going to go in and do the wet sloppy bit in the middle, and I still might later on, but right now my tummy is telling me it's coffee time, so that means it's coffee time. Right, open the gate, let the girls back in. Cup of milk, microwave, 1 minute 55 seconds, don't want to boil over. 1.5 teaspoonfuls of brown sugar. I like brown sugar in my milky coffee, white sugar in my normal coffee, but brown sugar in my milky coffee. A reasonably heaped teaspoonful of instant Dow Egberts. Stir it in. That's a milky coffee. You'll never go back. All right, you lot. Yours not terrible. We'll do that later. Okay, so opinion on the double up so far? Definitely not as comfortable as the Hunters. Don't fit my feet so well, but yeah, but I haven't got a poo toe, so that's a plus. Can't have it all, can you? Or can you? Is there a decent welly out there? I know Rich Corlock's been looking for years trying to find a decent welly for a farmer, but you know, what's it going to be? 300 quid? And will it last more than 12 months? I don't mind spending the money on something that's going to last, but I mean the Hunters, 3-4 months they were finished. These, well, we'll see. Right, okay, so we won't tell her. A little bit more there. A bit more there. I think maybe been chucking straw about. I better take these off outside, just in case. Oh, it's not too bad. That's one thing with these, they come off really easy. Yeah, there's only a bit of straw in there. Let's put them the right way around or I'll get confused. Don't take a lot of my age. Coffee. I don't know if this mission is going to be successful or a complete failure, but I'm thinking more than likely the latter. So I've been given a job by the family to go and find something that I haven't seen for 5 or 6 years. Yes. What? Yes, I do love you very much, yes. Right, so about probably 10 years ago, my mother gave me a string of lanterns. Proper job, string of lanterns that was hung up for like Christmas lights. I think there was 2 strings of them actually, and they used to be in a box in Holly's kitchen in her studio. But obviously when Holly moved in, we moved everything out. So it's probably less than 5 years, it might only be a couple of years. Mrs. P and the girls want them in the veranda, and I'll admit, they look really nice in there. I think that would be a blooming good job. But I don't know where I've put them. So I've looked at the top in the old caravan, not in there. I've looked in the top shed, not in there. Kind of the only place I've got left is in here. But where? Did I put them up there? Did I put them up there? Are they in there? I've been racking my brain. I can't think where I put the blooming things. Are they up there? Well, save us unlocking that. We'll look up here first. Are they up here? I don't think so. I've got a complete bulkhead for a 300 TDI Land Rover. Somebody wants that. I've got a Christmas tree shoot, flashy lights, a chair, an old blower that doesn't work, an old incubator, a window, the ladders off of the cherry picker, another old saw that's scrap, pretty sure not up here. Right, so not up here, take that off the list. Over there, I'll have a look inside. Right. That ladder is only a little bit dodgy. A little bit, quite a lot. Someone's in my yard. Who is that? Hey, don't look, mother. Ian's doing something silly. Not there. Where have I put them? We haven't chucked them out by mistake. Who's in the yard? Biscuit, I thought you were poorly. I thought you were at a migraine and we're going to bed.
I have got a biscuit.
You have got a biscuit and you've gone to migraine?
Yes.
Right, where are you going now?
I'm packing up. Who's that in the car?
I don't know, I heard a car come in and go, I don't know what.
He waved to us.
Don't know?
Have you checked the post box?
No. After you. I just put new tyres on that. Women. Right, I'm pretty sure it's not up there. Not in there. I mean, these are quite big, bulky lantern, like, I mean, they're fist-size lanterns. Green, blue, yellow, red. On a big, thick, square cable. And I have no idea what we've done with it. Mother would be proud of me. She used to have a saying that she used quite a lot when we were kids, where I go, Mum, where's so-and-so? And she would say, seek, and ye shall find. So I thought about that, and I thought, well, I'm going to have a seek. And I found. There they are. Unfortunately, they were in a plastic bag in the top shed, and I think the rats have been in here, so this may not be a simple little job of putting these together. So, and if all the bulbs work, it would be a bloody miracle. Well, sadly not quite as impressive as I hoped they'd be. A couple of the bulb holders have gone. That bulb holder is knackered, and so is that one. I might have to strip the other set of lights and steal some of the holders off there if they come apart, and swap them out for those, but it's too dark to see what I'm doing now. So I mean, it'd be okay, but what I was kind of hoping was I'd do one string of lights going that way and then that way, which I reckon would look quite nice, and then one going up and that way, which would look quite nice. But yeah, I mean, bearing in mind these are quite old, probably, or at least 20 years old, so yeah, I could probably buy a set of LED ones now for a fraction of what Mum paid for these when she bought these, and they'd probably be brighter and cost a fraction as much to run as well. So yeah, I mean, it was an idea. We found them, we know where they are probably repairable, and they'll probably do for this year, bearing in mind it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. Don't think I'm going to be getting any lights tomorrow, although you never know my family, the idea's been sown now, or the seed's been sown for the idea, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody doesn't dip off and go, here, I bought these lights, put them up. Because that would be about right. So anyhow, I've made some effort, and it doesn't look tat. As long as you don't look at it for a long time, it doesn't look tat. Right, I think that's it on that note. It's, I don't know what time it is. I would imagine it's getting on towards 4 o'clock because it's blimmin' dark. What is time? Oh, it's gone 4 o'clock, 4:21. So yeah, that's it for today. Have a great Christmas Eve, or I hope you had a great Christmas Eve, because this is going to come out afterwards. Hope you had a great Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're only about a week behind. You'll catch up, don't you worry. See you tomorrow.